us go to Fiji then and talk to our good friend Indra Singh, who is the news director at the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation. That's the FBC. 2:45. Welcome to the show, mate. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. It's always a pleasure.
So the Indra only flew out from Fiji this morning, New Zealand time.
Oh yeah, look, it makes it very easy to compare times because we are on the same in terms of times, we're on the same New Zealand and Fiji. So yeah, they flew out early this morning, and quite surprising. They get one night to get used to the cold that they'll face most probably in Christchurch tomorrow, and run out against a hurting Crusaders outfit which lost in Fiji because they are a finals team, as everyone knows.
Look, it is going to be cold. It's, a 7 o'clock start in Christchurch. It should be a nice crisp day. But, I mean, the temperature and the conditions are going to be... I don't think they could be more opposite than what the conditions were like when the Drua beat the Crusaders up in Lautoka.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's what has been discussed over the months that the Drua have been playing. Is they've been fantastic and phenomenal at home, playing under the heat, winning 5 out of the 6 matches at home, etc., and all those things. But it's the consistency of playing away from home where they have not been able to string together positive results. Now, it's a grand achievement. Everyone's really proud of the team having made it to the quarters, but you got to put in a solid shift to put some impressive showing into that match. Because, look at them. They lost even to the Western Force away against a struggling Force. And it showed the inconsistency away from home. But, it's a finals footy. One bounce of the ball could go in their favour and an upset could be created. But definitely the Crusaders start as the top bets in this one.
Indra, how big a deal is this in Fiji? I was over there just on holiday when the Drua were playing the Blues and then playing the Hurricanes, both those home games. Everyone I spoke to was an Drua fan and just loved watching this team. So how much excitement around the fact that, hey, we got a quarter final happening?
Absolutely phenomenal. On match days last weekend when we played the Reds in Suva, everywhere you'd see in Suva from the morning, it was just blue. People were out in merchandise. I've not seen this much merchandise for any sporting team in Fiji, mind you. Everyone's wanting to be part of the Drua success. Everyone's gotten behind the team. Everyone's just, riding on the success of a Fijian team finally getting a chance to play in Super Rugby. And mind you, put in a good showing in the second season only to finish in top 8. And I think tomorrow night, majority of Fiji will be glued to the television screens, and it's great. It's on free-to-air television here. Everyone's going to be watching it and, cheering their hearts and lungs out for the Drua.
So it really does unify the country. This is what sport can do, right?
Absolutely correct. If I was to put it in terms of unifying and uniting a nation, the Drua are our number one bets right now. They are doing everything that every politician and every other person has tried to successfully do in the past and not really succeeded. This Drua outfit has put and got the nation to be one every time they've played.
I genuinely believe that this is the success story of Super Rugby Pacific this year. This team so proud, winning at home, that record, but also providing a completely different environment and an away trip that other teams are going to start fearing, that they're going to, there's no way next year that the Crusaders are taking a B team up there, I can tell you that. This is actually a fixture that you've got to think about and you've got to plan for if you want to come away with a result.
Yeah, the Blues were the only ones. And mind you, they did struggle in that game. It wasn't all, in their favor, but they did come away with the win. But, every other team, there's 7 home games next season. I was told last week that the Drua have 7 home games. The fixtures will be announced later on, of course. 7 home games, you got to plan it. But it doesn't matter where you play. You could play in Lautoka. You can play in Suva. The crowd have been absolutely marvelous. People have turned out in big numbers. There were some question marks if it's the second year. The crowds would lose their interest in the Drua, etc. Absolutely no. Everyone's just come out in full force. And I think it's done wonders for Super Rugby itself. It's not only for Fiji and the Fijian Drua, but for Super Rugby itself, which was losing its attraction some years ago. But the inclusion of Drua, and mind you, to some extent, Moana Pacifica has absolutely, revitalized this comp, and it's benefiting all the teams that are involved.
Yeah, here. And this is, you try and sort of explain this to those that run New Zealand rugby. This is the pointed difference in the competition. New Zealand, guess what? We're in the Pacific. That's where we live. And so, it's part celebration. But let's put that to one side, because it's also got to be a team that is professionally capable. And that's the most impressive thing this year, Indra, is that this team isn't just there to make up the numbers. As you say, they are legitimately in the top 8.
Absolutely. And look, the cries of wanting a Pacific team or Fiji team in this sort of competition has been there for years. I mean, I've been in the industry 23 odd years, and every time the team is in the comp, it's just shown us what we're capable of. The Flying Fijians for the World Cup, the extended squad was named last night, and there's about 22 of those players already in the Flying Fijians training squad. So it shows the success the Drua have brought about for Fijian rugby, full-time professional players based out of Fiji. It's a dream that has come true. And now I guess the second part of making the dream come true is getting all our best players back from places like France in the next couple of years. Mind you, the dollar will speak louder than many other things in terms of contracts, etc. But, the other thing is, on the flip side, is will we now see the teams like the All Blacks and the Wallabies play in the islands? We haven't held the All Blacks play here for years, and they've played Samoa recently, only in Apia. We need them to start coming to this part of the world and this part of the islands and playing Fiji, Samoa, and Tonga. Perhaps starting off with Fiji with the infrastructure and things in place, and just giving the public, a chance to watch these big stars that they usually watch on the tellies and etc.
Finally, and here's my plan, is that, New Zealand and Australia get together as the two administrative bodies, also with Fiji on board, talk to Fiji Airways, talk to Air New Zealand, talk to Qantas, and start putting together package tours where people can come up, they can spend a few days at the resort outside school holiday time. So the resorts, when I was staying there, about a third full or whatever, taking a couple of games as well. So you're bringing people up, have a little bit of a holiday, they can spend some money at the resort, they can actually go to the games, fly a whole lot of flags, just the interest and excitement and also the economic benefits of that.
Yeah, most definitely. Sports tourism is the way to go, and there's been some talk around it. Perhaps a few more new stadiums coming up in the next couple of years in Fiji. And I think what you've said absolutely will benefit the economy, with a struggling economy such as in the Pacific after COVID, etc. But, it all comes down to the Drua having awoken and having, moved people's thought process to a different direction.
Congratulations, my friend, on the season so far. All the very best for tomorrow night. Whatever happens, you're going to look back with pride on what's happened this year.
Oh, most definitely. We're so proud to have the Drua, and just getting ready to see them put on a solid show against the Crusaders.